Jackie the burglar. Exposed, you are exposed. Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Jaclyn Hill being accepted to sell into Ulta Beauty. Let's get into the video. Jaclyn Hill is a 30-year-old beauty YouTuber originally born in Illinois who now lives in Tampa, Florida. We have covered Jaclyn extensively on this channel, and if you do want to watch my Jaclyn playlist that spans over the past 4 or 5 years, you can do so by clicking this link in the top corner. In this corner, sorry. So she had this huge disaster of a makeup launch. Just for context, Jaclyn was working on a line for a while, but it was always pushed back because she was doing collaborations with Morphe. She was constantly selling new products with Morphe all the time, and if she wasn't selling a new product, she was just heavily promoting them. We actually used to make a lot of jokes about this because it got to a point where pretty much the entire video that she would make would be an ad for Morphe. So I was told that whilst I believe most people earn a 10% commission from selling Morphe, because Jaclyn was friends with them from the very beginning, I believe Jaclyn was on a higher commission, so she was making around 15%, which is obviously more than everyone else. If I remember this correctly, you know, a few years ago, this is maybe 3 years ago, Nikki's Tutorials was allegedly making around $50,000 per month from Morphe affiliation, from promoting Morphe products. I was told that by Thomas Halbert. And Jaclyn Hill was making in excess of $150,000 at one point from Morphe alone. And this again is data coming from either influencers or people inside Morphe, so hugely profitable. Jaclyn already had a great income coming from her Champagne Pop highlighter with Becca, who she fell out with. She then finally, you know, she originally, which again I have a video on, was supposed to do a palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills, but whilst she was working on the palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills, she launched a palette with Morphe, which at the time was like a very known for being a repackaged, cheap quality, you know, brand that was just some random factory in China that they were slapping their name onto. That was the alleged allegation. So because of that, I believe she lost her deal with Anastasia and the palette didn't go ahead, which would have been a huge thing in Jaclyn's career, working with a brand that at the time was considered very prestigious. She finally got around to launching Jaclyn Hill. She had a whole bag of worms getting the trademark for Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, whatever the name was, because her trademark application was a mess. I know I've mentioned this in previous videos, but at the time I was friends with Jaclyn and I was talking to her and I tried to help her because it was just like constantly getting rejected. And I actually confronted Jaclyn directly about the quality of Morphe brushes because people were kicking off with her while she was promoting certain collections, and I sent her all the screenshots of the smashed up brushes and she would just like play it off and deny liability. And we used to be very, very close. We used to talk. She used to watch all my videos. I'm still friends with her ex-husband John. It was very messy, and I realized after a while that I felt she was quite manipulative and she plays people. And once I sort of saw it, I couldn't unsee it. But I'd watched Jaclyn Hill for years before that, and I'd really enjoyed her videos, and I thought she was a very down-to-earth, sweet, kind, and caring person. But then as soon as the illusion broke, it was broken, and I couldn't unsee it. And then I watched the old videos and was like, oh my God, it's the same narcissistic person that's just playing off a character. That's how I felt anyway, just my opinion. And then it sort of came out in the public that that's how she was. People realized that time went on, things would happen. You know, she would make bad choices. She would lie about things. She would say that she broke her ankle, and then it was sprained, and then it was broken and sprained, and then it was not broken because the doctor lied to her. Eventually she launched Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, and it was the kind of disaster that people kind of expected it to be. It wasn't thought through. The lab that she was working with looked to be very cheap. The products were being sold with what people thought was mold inside. There was lots of graininess inside the lipsticks, and there was cotton and various different things stuck inside the lipsticks. People were very unhappy. In fact, the scandal was named Lipstick Gate. It's unfortunate I wasn't posting at the time because this is the type of thing that I think I would have forefronted, but I was moving house and going through a big personal transition with various different things. So I didn't cover it that extensively, but it was heavily covered on YouTube. Eventually, I did actually cover it, and I said, Jaclyn, you need to refund people because you're saying, oh, we just can't handle the emails. The server, you know, they didn't pay to upgrade their email server, so it reached a point where they couldn't receive any more emails. And I just said to Jaclyn, you've sold a bad product and you've missed out on the quality control. You need to just refund people. You can't make it difficult for them. You can't ask them to send it back. Like, it's a known problem that every single person that's received a lipstick has had problems. So you have to just deal with it. Like, bite the bullet. You made a mistake. You're already a millionaire. This is not going to affect your net worth or your riches or the fact you already own a mansion. This is just a project that you're going to have to say, sorry, it didn't work to, right? And she did. After I did that, and I really put some pressure on, I don't know if it was me personally, but she did actually refund everyone afterwards. And I then believe that she changed her company to a non-profit for tax reasons, I think. So that's another thing that happened. Regarding that glove story, by the way, a lot of people don't think it was true to do the white fluff and stuff on the products. People were thinking that it was animal hair and stuff like that. A few people did look at it under microscopes. And this does happen with cheaper labs. Like, they're not the same quality standards and not maintained that you would expect. And if someone is willing to break your trust as a consumer at the very beginning by convincing you that they have a high quality product and using their name to sell that product to you, and then you find out that it's actually really low quality, I personally couldn't trust that influencer again, because they're using their trust as a way to make money from you, which is almost fine if you're supporting them and buying merch or working on a project that they've worked on. But if they're doing it in a scammy format that's low quality and dreadful, that's something that we need to talk about that. We need to think, you know what, you put your name on the line and you destroyed your own name. That's your own doing, right? Why are we constantly forgiving brands when there is an absolute stampede of brands waiting behind them for a chance to be believed in, for a chance to show what they're made of, to show their products, to show their ethos, to show their capability, their marketing, their artistry, but we're still focusing on and giving opportunities to brands like Jaclyn Hill. I was a little bit disappointed to see that Ulta would do this. I think there's a plenty of incredible up-and-coming brands that work very hard, and I think for Ulta to represent Jaclyn, I felt a bit sad within myself, because it almost just plays into this narrative that it doesn't really matter who you are, what you're doing, as long as you're white and rich, you can get whatever you want, right? So if you want to get into stores, it doesn't matter how bad your product launch is, how low energy your effort is into fixing it. Yeah, it's fine. You've got a big name. We'll put you in there, and other people have to work their asses off. And it makes me a bit sad, I guess. One of the comments that I saw online about this, and I will just mention it, someone said, how the heck does a brand like Jaclyn's get a deal with Ulta? Is the company not aware of the dumpster fire that her lipstick launch was? And someone responded, Morphe is the answer to your first question. And then someone said white privilege and access to social capital, but people keep supporting her BS. And then someone said, I admit her highlight is tempting, but I will never buy from her. Her inability to run her business, her reaction to criticism, and the blatant lie she told, I did QC and knew immediately her glove story was a lie, are all red flags. And people are just going off on it, basically talking about it. I want to know what you think about this. A lot of people have just said, yes, the quality of the product might be low and there might be a lot of controversy, but it will sell because Jaclyn has, 5-6 million subscribers on YouTube. So she has enough following that it doesn't matter what the quality of the product is or what the marketing is or the effort that goes into it or the trust that gets broken. As long as it sells, corporations make money from it. I think all I can think about, for example, is I'm doing so well with my lipsticks. They've been doing incredibly since launch. I've worked so hard on this formula, so hard on the packaging. All the photography that we do for the brand is done by me. All the model selection, the casting, the makeup, the photography, the retouching, the styling, the Instagram feed, the captions, everything is done by me, right? And I do that for consistency and cohesiveness. And if you look at the feed, for example, I think it's really pretty. I'm personally very proud of it. And I am not a huge corporation. I'm not a multi-million-dollar influencer with millions of subscribers that earns $150,000 a month from Morphe commissions and affiliations. Like, I'm just a person that has worked very hard from a young age and has saved. And part of me almost feels in that respect, like if you remove my name and my face from the equation, there are a lot of people like me that work really hard to chase their dreams and don't have things given to them, right? They don't get lucky on YouTube and get big really quickly and then live off the back of that. And so for me, it feels a bit like the doors are open to Ulta, and everyone is in queue and we're all fighting, we're all doing amazing, and they kind of open it for a brief moment and the person at the back that was putting minimal effort to get to the front gets let in, and I feel like we're all banging on the door like, excuse me. Because for me it's almost like my product is selling really, really well by itself, but it's prestigious to get into a store like Ulta because you can reach a different audience. You can have people that can feel the packaging, can shop the packaging. I'm very lucky that my sales are great, despite the fact that people can't feel the quality of the product and the weight of the product before buying it, because I put steel in the lids of my lipsticks and stuff like that. But to have access to consumers in stores, it would be an incredible way to build a relationship with a retailer and to build a relationship with a new base of customers that can feel the products and experience the new packaging. Even if they're not buying certain products, like if something is out of their price range, they can still see it and experience it firsthand, what they're buying into. Like, for example, a lot of people buy A-Class Mercedes because they know what the S-Class is. They know the prestige of Mercedes-Benz, a $30,000 car, but they're buying it because that brand also makes $150,000 cars, right? And they're buying into that prestige, whereas a brand that's known for making $10,000 cars suddenly makes a $30,000 car. It's less, people are generally less attracted to it, right? So that's kind of how I feel about that situation, about giving consumers a chance to feel the products and experience them and the packaging and the vibe. And the same, that's my dream, is to get into a retailer like that. Part of me feels like I should be saying kudos Jaclyn Hill, like congratulations, but I don't feel like a kudos are in order. I really feel like it's a bit of a backslap to everyone else, really, because it's just been such a disaster from start to finish. And I imagine she just passes the deal from one person to another. And there doesn't really seem to be a passion in there. And it just kind of feels a bit like, even, do you remember the Vault collection? Are we going to pretend here like Jaclyn Hill's makeup has not continuously been one scandal after another? She did the original Morphe palette and then they upgraded the palette quality randomly, and it was like, well, you were charging the same price, why are you suddenly making the packaging nicer? And there's other various things to do with the quality of the shadows. Then she did the Vault collection, which was these 4 palettes, and most of the shades were repeats of other shades, just slightly different. And it was like, Jaclyn, this is why brands sell palettes with 14 shades, because then they can make multiple palettes. If you make a palette with 35 shades and then another palette with 35 shades, you kind of like, you're using a lot of the shades up that most brands would sell bit by bit, right? To create a color story. So it's kind of difficult in that respect. And then the Vault collection had really, really bad quality control issues. I did a video about that in the past. Jackie Aina did a video and I did this really funny edit. I'm going to show you the edit that I did.
Let's start off with Access, which is this kind of yellow orange shade.
This is another thing as well that I'll just mention. People were saying that Jaclyn doesn't have that many products, so they were feeling confused how she could have store space, because how would she fill an end cap, for example, if she doesn't have that many products? And I kind of get this. This is one of the reasons why I felt a bit nervous going to retailers, because I do just have a range of lipsticks, about 10 to 12 different shades. And I sometimes get nervous, maybe they want more products. And I do have a chapstick on the way. I've got contour and highlighters that are pretty much finished, launching later this year as well. I felt nervous because I didn't have enough products, and I was thinking stores won't take me on, because, or at least not in physical retail stores, because of the lack of product range. But Jaclyn's gone and done it. So for me, it's almost like every single thing that I question myself as, every single thing that I question myself with my brand and the work that me and my team do, is completely fine for another big influencer to do, because they're rich and famous. So it doesn't matter about quality, it doesn't matter about marketing, it doesn't matter about the lies and the scandals and all the various different things. It's just like, I don't know. Anyway, I just feel a little bit, you know, a bit shooketh about the situation. I'm shooketh with cooketh right now. As always, I do want to hear what you think about this, and if you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to smash the like button. It was really fun today just going through what the internet was thinking about this. If you want to watch another video, this is a recommended video from YouTube. This is my previous video, and of course, if you have not yet subscribed, I would invite you to subscribe if you like my channel, and I will see you very soon. Bye.